When did a rich person realize money couldn't save them from public humiliation? My dorm mate was the most entitled person I've ever met. The day she moved in, she didn't carry a single box. 3 guys in matching polos did it for her while she yelled at them about where things should go. Her dad was a multi-millionaire, built a nationwide tech company. But when I asked about said company, she didn't even know its name. I don't need to know what it's called to know how much money hits my bank account. My first night living with her, her jaw genuinely dropped when she saw me boiling pasta. "Isn't that cooking stuff below you?" she asked with a scrunched up face. I only order or eat out. When I told her not everyone was fortunate enough to have that luxury, she stared at me like I disgusted her. If your parents wanted more money, they should have just worked harder. That was the exact moment I knew the kind of person I was dealing with. By the time 2 months had passed, she destroyed and bought 6 new iPhones and had called me broke about a million different ways. Then one Monday she burst in, told me her dad was visiting Friday, then looked right at me and said, "I better not see you here when he's here. My dad has standards." By Wednesday, the entire floor knew something big was happening. An email went out from the housing office. A distinguished guest would be visiting. Everyone was asked to keep common areas tidy. The university dean was apparently meeting this guy personally, rolling out the red carpet. That's when I realized just how rich her dad actually was. My dorm mate went into overdrive. She hired professional cleaners to come through. They scrubbed everything. Every surface was spotless. Thursday night, I was studying on the couch, had my textbooks spread out. She walked in and froze. "Can you not? Can you do that somewhere else? I live here. I know you live here. But my dad is coming tomorrow and I don't need your stuff everywhere." She said stuff like it was a disease and walked away. Friday afternoon came around and I was in the kitchen making a grilled cheese. I didn't care that there was a distinguished guest coming. I wanted my grilled cheese. Suddenly I heard voices in the hallway. Footsteps. Then the kitchen door opened. My dorm mate walked in first. Behind her was a man in a suit that cost more than my car. Her dad. He was tall, gray at the temples, face completely unreadable. My dorm mate saw me and her smile twitched. "Oh," she let out this little laugh. "Didn't think you'd be here." I flipped my grilled cheese and turned to her dad. "Hey man, I'm making grilled cheese. Happy to throw another one on if you're hungry." My dorm mate's face went red. My dad doesn't eat." She composed herself. "We're just looking around." She grabbed his arm and started pointing at things. "This is the kitchen. The cleaners just came through yesterday, so it's not usually this nice. Obviously." She glanced at me when she said obviously. Her dad didn't respond, just looked around. She showed him the lounge, the study area, the view from the window. The whole time she kept making comments. "The furniture is basic, but I make it work. Most people here don't really have the same standards. You know, it's not what I'm used to, but I'm managing." Then she made a joke right in front of me. "At least the kitchen works. Perfect for people who can't afford real food." She nodded toward my grilled cheese. Her dad glanced at me, then at her. His eyes narrowed, but he said nothing. A few minutes later, they walked out. I finished my sandwich and started on my homework. Figured that was the end of it. But about 30 minutes later, they came back. Her dad walked in first this time and stopped in the middle of the kitchen. "I'm cutting you off." Silence. "Wait, what?" She was confused. "I'm stopping your funding. All of it," he said in a calm, matter-of-fact tone. Her face crumbled. He turned to face her fully. "You think because you have access to my money, you're better than everyone else? You think I'm such an entitled rich a-hole I can't handle a college student making himself lunch?" She couldn't speak. "You've never worked a day in your life. You act like you built my company when you don't know the name of it. All you know is that money hits your account on the 1st of every month." He pointed at me. "This gentleman offered me a grilled cheese. He was being polite. You didn't even ask if I was hungry. You just assumed I was too good for it." Tears streaming down her face now. "I was hungry, and I would have loved a grilled cheese." He turned to me. "Actually, is that offer still open?" I blinked. "Yeah, I can make you one. Appreciate it." My dorm mate let out a sob, ran to her room and slammed the door so hard the walls shook. Her dad sat down across from me. "Sorry about her. That's my fault. I should have raised her better. I didn't know what to say, so I just made him a grilled cheese." We sat in that kitchen for an hour, ate grilled cheese, talked about life, about business, about what it actually takes to build something from nothing. He was one of the most down-to-earth people I've ever met. Self-made, started with nothing. Couldn't believe what his daughter had become. He even offered me a starting job at his company when he learned I had a degree in computer science. My dorm mate moved out 2 weeks later. Last I heard, she's working part-time at the McDonald's off campus. Has to clock in, has to be polite to customers, has to cook her own dinner. I stop by sometimes to say hi.